Good morning, everybody. Going out for a little walkabout here to collect some sap. Since it's supposed to be a rainy day today, I don't want a lot of rain getting in the sap buckets, so I figured I'd take you along with. We have about 25 gallons currently in the bucket, barrel, whatever you want to call it. And so we're gonna see how much we get today. All right, first up is our big black maple that I actually hunt from as well. This tree is a solid producer. I actually emptied this last night because we were supposed to get rain last night, which we got a very, very light amount of rain. So this is actually just sap. You can see it's running pretty good. Did not freeze last night. But I emptied these last night because we were supposed to get rain. I didn't want rainwater in the buckets. And you can see good amount. This is really hard to do with one hand, by the way, in case you were wondering. And because we still have some rain expected to come our way today, I'm emptying now. So yeah, just from one tree overnight, that is about 2.5 gallons. So pretty good for tree number one. Next up is the closest thing that we have to a sugar bush is this clump of Norway maples. I know some people that do maple syrup don't like Norways. I don't care. They put out useful sap just like the other maples do. I just gotta collect a little bit more of it is really all I gotta do. So I'll take whatever I can get. And this tree is a pretty big one, and it's as you can see, it's a pretty big tree. Last year I think I put three taps on, and this year just the two. This is probably my second best producer on the property. And if you're wondering why I have these ropes and logs here, it's because kind of the angle of the tree. If the bucket is in there too much, you can see that the spile will actually get really close to touching the lid, and then that sap ends up running down the lid and outside the bucket. So some of them I hang those on there, and it kicks the bottom out a little bit, and then we don't have that issue. So this year I was able to get permission from my neighbors to tap their trees, which was awesome. I was able to pretty much double, actually slightly more than double what I tapped last year. And some of that's along our community rail trail, which is fine to do. And some is like right, you can see this house right here. There's a tree right behind the house. So that's very nice for them to let me use that maple. And all the ones that are on their property at least. I always feel bad asking, but at the same time, these trees aren't being used, and everyone said the same thing, like, yeah, I don't care, they're not being used, go for it. So, and another one is this big old maple here. This is just another big maple at the bottom of my direct neighbor's property, and it's been doing okay. Some buckets have more than others on some days, but again, it's more, see, like this one didn't get anything, whereas that one had a little bit in it. I'll take whatever I can get. Something is better than nothing. Even if I only get a little bit from a tree, it's still a little bit more than what I would have had, or what I did have last year. So yeah, this has nothing in it. So this tree is kind of hit or miss depending on the weather. So we're doing good. Take a quick moment to stop off here at the bees. Actually, so all those maples right there, they're right next to our beehive. And it's been a real trying year for us, first time with bees. So these are all dead bees that are brought to the front of the hive by the undertaker bees. As you can see, there's a bunch of dead ones here. We clean them out every so often. We're out of the bitter cold right now, so they've made it through the worst of it. And while we get upset that there's some die-off, it's not the end of the world. They're going to die during the wintertime, some of them. We just don't want them all to die. And more importantly, we just don't want the queen to die. So we'll see. We'll see what happens come springtime. We have some nice days above 50 coming up here soon. So they will come out and do a cleansing flight at that time and get themselves all warmed up and then go back in for the cold again. So we shall see. Pray that they make it to the springtime so that they can start repopulating the colony. All right, so thanks to my very precise math, we got about 6 gallons today. That's about a gallon. I just did a 5-gallon before this. So we're doing good. We're doing good. 6 gallons is a pretty good haul for just overnight. 55-gallon drum. As I mentioned in a previous video, this had purified water in it. So now it's got sap, and you can actually see there's still a few ice chunks in here from what I gathered yesterday. Sometimes the buckets will have ice in it, and yeah, there's some maple debris in there too. This will all get filtered before it gets into the onto the stove. So yeah, so if my math is correct here, as of last night I had 25 plus another 6, so we're up to 31 gallons. I am going to start cooking tomorrow because we are scheduled to have a warm spell. And by warm spell, I mean like above 50. And I don't want this to go bad. So what I am going to do is I have a small 1-gallon bucket that I'm going to clean out. I'm going to scoop up some of this sap, put it in the freezer, make a hard block out of it, and then keep it around for when we have a warm spell, and I can just plop that block directly in there, and it should help keep it cooler on the warm days. So that's what I'm gonna do. But thanks for coming along with me on this morning to collect. Not super exciting. I mean, unless you really love watching people empty buckets and just pouring water. If you like that, then boy, did you come to the right place at the right time. But that's it. If you have questions regarding syrup and sap, let me know before I'll record the first cook. I think it's tradition at this point to just record the first cook of the year. So if you have questions before then, let me know, and I can address them in the next video. So go ahead and do that. Check out my previous videos. I have a whole playlist from the maple sap and syrup collection production from last year. Go ahead and check that out. Maybe one of your questions may be answered there. And actually, I'm gonna check the sugar content with this refractometer before I end this video, just to kind of see where we're sitting at with all this stuff. Let's see if I can get this on here. I don't know if I can, but it looks like we're up to about, this is really difficult. There we go. Almost 3%. That's pretty good. Pretty good. But it's also the beginning of the year, but for trees that are not sugar maples specifically, English is hard, that's not too bad. So cool. Like I said, it's just this refractometer here. You take a little sample, put it on there, and shine it up to the light. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. And also, for those wondering, for the temperature in here, according to this, it is just around 31 degrees inside the sap. So I will take that. It's essentially, it's colder than inside a refrigerator, so that's good. So we're not going bad yet. Most people say that for maple syrup, it's kind of like milk. If it smells bad, it is bad. If it doesn't smell bad, then cook it. So as of right now, everything smells good, is good. So yeah, we'll take it. So up here on the side, yeah, see 35 up here. And once we get into it, plummets right down. So this is as non-scientific as I can be. Cool. All right, that's all I got for you today. Thank you. Hopefully it's a a little nicer wherever you're watching from. The rain, I could take it or leave it. Temperatures are fine. I'll take it, especially for maple syrup season. It's just the rain I could kind of do without. So that's all I got. So we'll see you on the next one.